Ty West is one of the most well-known indie horror directors of the last 10 years, starting out with films like The Roost, House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, and culminating to his last horror, The Sacrament, which is a loose adaptation of the real tragedy of the Jim Jones massacre. One can really see his evolution as a horror standout. People point to a blemish on his filmography being Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever, and he has been on the record of wanting no credit for that film, chalking it up to interfering producers and re-edits of the film he did not approve of. He took a departure recently with his Western film In a Valley of Violence, and has been focusing on directing horror TV shows as of late. Now Ty West makes his return to horror with X. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the cast find themselves fighting for their lives. So X has a great cast, and what this slasher does better than most slashers is make you engage and care about the characters on screen. They all get moments to shine, so when shit hits the fan, you feel something when they go. Mia Goth was a standout and really holds this film together with her performances. Now this film wears its influences on its sleeve. Films like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, The Shining, hell, even Evil Dead. There's a lot of horror X will remind you of, but it still manages to be fresh and bring something new to the genre. There's some great moments of comedy and horror, and if you enjoy the filmmaking process, you will get a kick out of the scenes when they're making their adult film. Now it does take some time to get to the blood and gore, but there's a purpose for that. And once we get there, boy do we get some great kills. They are brutal and well executed. It's nice having that feeling of anxiety when you know some shit is about to go down. And that's all thanks to Ty West's writing and direction. Also, this film is extremely creepy. There's a scene that comes to mind where Mia Goth's character sees someone waving at her, and with the music, it's just so ominous and eerie. And then of course, like there would be in any A24 film, there are some dark themes that the film will leave you thinking about well after it's over. A negative for the film is the structure. It starts out with the aftermath of everything we'll be seeing in the night of, and it just kind of took away some suspense. But with saying that, this film has some great tension and suspense at those key horror moments. In the end, I really enjoyed X, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. This is a film that I can watch over and over again. It's smart, disturbing, and a hell of a good time. That's all you can ask for. Now, if you haven't watched X, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. So go ahead and comment what your thoughts were if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, if you're excited for it. So again, spoilers. Let's go ahead and get into that. So it turns out X is a fucked up love story. We learn that Howard and his wife haven't done the deed for quite some time, and they are taking out their rage on unsuspecting people that rent out their cabin. I imagine the prequel that Ty has already filmed will tackle that. The wife mostly envies youth and really takes a liking to Maxine, which leads to that nasty scene where she's touching her while she's asleep. Mia was excellent in this film. She not only played Maxine but also plays the wife, and she was great in both roles. My favorite kill was RJ's. He was stabbed in the neck over and over until he was decapitated. That's fucking brutal. An added element was that they had a pet alligator. It was just chilling in their pond and they would just feed it their victims. I like the whole aspect that they're trying to make this elevated adult film, and you could definitely correlate it to the horror genre and what a lot of people say A24 does. They make these horror films that one may say isn't schlock and the repulsive and not for the perverts. And then that ending, Howard ends up getting a heart attack after Lorraine gives him a spook, and it allows Maxine to get the upper hand, and we get an amazing head crush, which brings it back to the beginning of the film when they're driving on the highway and they run over the Cowan trails or whatever that was. This film was full of great moments, and I definitely won't be surprised if it becomes an instant classic. Is A24 in the business of franchises? I guess we'll have to find out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching this, and until next time.
Goodbye.